right, everyone. Welcome to Wichita Paramotor Coast to Coast, brought to you by Light Flight and Kangook America. Today, we're actually going to have a lot of fun. So, I've been trying to do some different things when it comes to the podcast, and on the weekends, it's always my wife and I. But on Wednesdays, I'm going to start doing interviews like this one today. So, I have a student with me that's been flying for a little while. He trained with us, and we're going to have a little talk with him and kind of see what he's about. And, just like we usually do, we're going to talk paramotor stuff with paramotor people about paramotor things. All right, so I have David Brant with me, and we're actually doing something brand new that I haven't done before, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So we have David Brant here, and I'm doing it on Zoom. So I'm not the super most technical guy, but we're going to see how this works real quick. There we go. Say hello to everybody, David.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, you and I have known each other for a little while, and, you know, I want to get right down to it and start finding out about you because that's why we're here. We're here to hang out with David today. So, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Oh, well, I grew up here in Wichita. I'm married. I've been married 25 years to my beautiful wife. I've got two boys, 20, almost 22 and
Oh my.
19. They're a lot of fun. Good boys. The oldest one's finishing up at WSU, doing accounting, and the other one's in real estate and does banking. So they all keep us pretty busy. I'm not kind of hanging out with the family, doing things around the house. Love flying paramotors, play a little golf, and just enjoy those hobbies.
Well, it sounds like the kid in the banking. He's going to be able to take care of you when you get older, right?
We'll see.
And then you said you're a golfer. I actually didn't really know you were that big into golf. I know you went to some of the tournaments and whatnot. But what's your golf game like?
Oh, we just go out and have some fun. I'm not a real serious, like take it too serious. It's just a way of going out and having some fun, socializing, drinking some beers, hanging out with the fellas. We usually play Thursday evenings after work, go out and play. And it's just a good time.
Awesome, awesome. So my next question is what do you do for a living?
Uh, I have been in IT for almost 25 years. So right now I'm a director of IT for an aerospace company in town. So
Yeah, aerospace is really, really huge in Wichita. It seems like just about everybody I talk to out here or know is in aircraft in one way or another. How'd you get into IT and especially aircraft?
oh, like I say, I was first a draftsman right out of high school, did AutoCAD drafting and whatnot, and kind of got tired of all the fractions and the numbers and so on and so forth. And just, it was 1999 before Y2K and everything, and
Oh
IT
my.
was kind of up and coming. Yeah, I'm old, I get it. Uh, and just kind of got into it and really liked it. And the rest was kind of history. I've been in aerospace about 15 of the 25 years, but Yeah, I like it.
Nice, nice. So, I don't know if would ever be smart enough for aircraft. I'm broadcasting was always my thing, and now, small business owner, it's kind of crazy. As a small business owner, you think that you're going to get more freedom and have more stuff to do and let more time and whatnot. It's absolutely the opposite.
I can imagine.
So, okay, let's start from the beginning with paramotor. How did you get interested in paramotor? So how did it first come across your desk?
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting story, you know. Uh, I saw a thing on the news. I think it was the local K Channel 10 station. They were interviewing a guy, and he was having some type of surgery or medical thing done for his back. And the story the guy was talking, he couldn't wait to get healthy so he could get back to the sport that he loves. And he got to talking about it and showing pictures and kind of highlighting this this sport, and I had never heard or seen that before. And I thought, what? Wait, what is this? And so I had to look it up online the next morning and powered paragliding or paramotor, and I thought, holy moly, this is amazing. How have I never heard of this before? I was really kind of taken back. Some of my friends had heard of it, but I said, "Man, this looks awesome. I want to do this."
So you are kind of an adventurous guy, from what I've learned. You like water sports. You're into paramotoring. You're always doing stuff around your house and building cool decks and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, did this really line up? Was this something you were like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I can do this, or were you all in?
Well, I was all in and I wanted to do it. The thing I kind of set me back a little bit was I wanted to make sure I did it safely. I didn't want to jump into something and not just think, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go fly up into the air. And because I've watched some YouTube videos, I really wanted to do it safely. And my wife kind of had some concerns, and I think she was kind of like, "Yeah, okay, Dave, sure." And then as it kind of progressed and got a little more serious, looking into it and wanting to do it. I was telling my brother about it, and I mean, my brother is bull rider and whatnot, so he was all in too. And was like, "Yeah, let's do this thing. This looks amazing. We're gonna do it." But I did want to make sure that I could find somewhere to teach me how to do it.
So, originally, it's funny. There's a little story here, and we'll allude more to it as we go on. But your brother actually is the reason why I fly, and it's kind of amazing, coming for full circle, knowing your brother for years, and then seeing him post about it. I'd actually tried to find paramotor way back in 2018 and couldn't find an instructor locally. And, you know, I kind of hung it up because I wasn't sure that, it was going to be cost prohibitive, travel prohibitive. And I was like, oh my, this is something I really want to do, but I don't know that it's going to happen. And I watched paramotor videos for like 2 years. And then I think it was 2020, when your brother actually posted about it. And he says, hey, I'm going to do this. And it was uh, it blew me away. He showed a picture of it. And I was like, wait, hold on. And I called him up and I said, dude, where are you going to do this at? And he says, well, there's a guy locally. I said, no, there isn't. He said, yes, there is. And that ended up being my instructor. And way back when, that was Air Capital PPG that I started with. And And then, what was it? Probably, what year did you start?
Oh boy. I want to say it was maybe 2023.
Was it really that late? I was thinking it was
Yeah,
maybe 22, but
it might have been 22, 22 or 23.
so yeah, it was crazy. And your brother, he was kind of a wild guy. He
Yeah.
uh, he had a lot of fun, and he's adventurous too. Bull rider, like you said, and avid hoverboard rider and Nerf gun aficionado. And
Yeah.
so I guess we kind of go into the story about Billy real quick. So, what year did Billy pass away?
I think Billy passed away in 2022, not 2021, I believe, because it was right at the in between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, yeah, and unfortunately, it was kind of a natural causes thing. Nobody really expected Billy to pass, and
Yeah.
then next thing I know, you show up at the field, and I find out who you are, and I was like, no way. And at that time, I believe I was just kind of took over for Bryant. It was still Air Capital PPG, and you were with me with the transition.
Yeah, so me and my brother is I kind of found this and told him about it, and he got hyped about it, and we were gonna do this, and then you kind of got to talking to him about it. I unfortunately had a jet ski accident, and so there was kind of a timeout period, I guess, if you want to call it, to where
Yeah,
paramotor really wasn't in the cards at that point in time. And so while I kind of was recovering from this injury, kind of sounds like you met with Bryant and started doing your training and doing all that, and then when I got well enough and thought, you know what, I think actually I could still do this thing. I feel pretty good and healthy and recovered, and so kind of picked it back up, and then that's when Billy had passed at this point, but then kind of ran into you, so it kind of came full circle there. So it was a really kind of good story.
yeah, it was. I can't tell you. I felt really privileged being able to, help you carry that torch for Billy. Now, quick question. You were talking about the jet ski accident, and I, elaborate. Tell us a little bit about what happened.
Oh, just me and my son were out on jet ski. He was driving it around, and I kind of got slung off, fell off, whatever you want to call it. Took a concussion, fractured four vertebrae, compressed a disc. Uh, it was during the peak of COVID, and so I ended up in the Arkansas hospital there for a little bit, but came home, recovered, no surgery needed or anything, and healed up and did all right. But it took a little bit. Guess I probably won't ride passenger on a jet ski again, but that's just one of those things.
Now,
So yeah, just an unfortunate accident. But
gotcha. Now, after the accident, you had already been thinking about paramotor, I think.
yeah,
So, I mean, did you think that was it? Did you think somebody with fractured vertebrae could get up into the air?
you know, uh, kind of during that time, I kind of thought that maybe the that ship had sailed. Uh, I didn't really know how well I would recover. Was I going to have additional pains? Was I going to have back problems? Was I, what was the long term effects going to be of this accident? And also not really knowing how physical is paramotor going to be carrying the motor and stuff. But I can say here and say that even after a pretty significant back injury, that you can still get out there and fly.
Because we try to focused towards new people on this show. You know, we want to educate, we want to stimulate, and we want to, you know, encourage those that, you know, might not think physically they can do it. That this is one of those sports, whether you're foot launching or wheel launching, it's quite feasible, you know, after injury with, you know, with physical disability. You know, there's veterans programs out there that actually work with amputees and whatnot to get them in the air. So it's encouraging that, you know, after your injury, that you were able to pull through this. And man, I'll be honest, I think you're a hell of a pilot. So speaking of which, when was your first flight?
Oh, geez. Uh, well, I think it was around Thanksgiving time, so I want to say it's been 2.5 years. I think I've been flying about 2.5, going on 3 years. But it was kind of in the fall, coming into winter time.
Yeah, it was getting
And
cold, wasn't it?
yeah, it was starting to get cold, but yeah, that didn't really stop me. We still went out and flew. We flew quite a bit that winter.
Yeah, we
Um,
did. You know, tell me about that first flight. Were you scared the first time you left the ground?
yeah, I mean there were nerves, obviously, and you know, not quite knowing what to expect. You can read about it and you can watch it, but until you kind of get up there and feel all the sensation of actually being up there and in control and flying, you know, you're gonna have some nerves. But I mean, the first flight went up. I think I went up about 500 feet or so, and you know, Brant was flying my first flight, and I was on the comms with him, and you know, it went great. Did a couple laps around the field out in Norwich, and came down, landed. But it was a lot of adrenaline when you landed. I kind of remember, kind of even the legs a little wobbly. Just I think just from the adrenaline once you come down, and just thinking, man, that was amazing. You just kind of almost be in disbelief. One, that you did it. Number two, kind of reliving it, and number three, just kind of the whole experience and the adrenaline and the anticipation was amazing.
And you know, I have a question because I know I didn't after my first flight. Did you sleep that night?
Yeah, I think I slept all right.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep, man. I was so charged, and you know it. You know, your first flight is always a pinnacle moment for everybody. It's that one you never forget. You know, not saying that flights are forgettable, but I mean the first flight, it seems like it sticks with you more than any other.
Yeah, I mean, I've flown that same field many of times now, but I can still picture the views of turning back into the field to come in for my landing. I can still picture it in my mind.
Absolutely. I mean, uh, same here. You know, I tell this story a lot. When I had my first flight, it was late evening. We had waited all day for the winds to calm down. And finally, you know, we'd gotten that golden hour. You know, it was probably 3, 4 mile an hour. And Bryant was like, all right, dude, it's time. Let's go. And, you know, I'm looking around and I'm thinking, oh gosh, here it is. You know, it's everything that you prepared for. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're actually going to do it. And, you know, the nerves hit you, you know, legs get a little shaky and you get nervous and, you know, uh, you're trying not to botch that launch. And he had to talk with me and everything about the things to do and not to do on first flight. And trying to run that all in my head. And then I got in the air and I was like a porpoise. So I'd get on throttle, scare the crap out of myself, let off throttle, scare the crap out of myself, you know, dive down, get back on throttle, swing back out, scare the crap out of myself, and he's just screaming over the radio, commit, commit, commit. So I finally committed. We did our couple of rounds, and then they're at Norwich. They've got lights that come on, at dusk. And there's some power lines there to the north that are marked. And I'm coming over the power lines coming in for my final approach. And then all of a sudden, the lights light up, bink, 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 all the way down the runway. And it was almost like getting called home. So absolutely amazing. I love this sport. So tell me what you're flying.
I'm flying a 185,
The
and I've got
Venerazi.
yeah, and I've got a Charger 2. Uh,
28 meter?
yep,
Yep, 28 meter.
yep, 28 meter.
How many flights do you think you got now?
I think I'm just shy of 100 or so. I think I'm in like the 75, maybe 80 range right now. Is where I'm at.
Gotcha.
So,
So what so what was, if you had a scariest flight ever, what was it?
oh boy, I don't know. I mean, I can't really say I had a scary incident or something that really freaked me out or anything. But probably my first probably 5 or 6 flights. There were some days where they were a little gusty and just not quite used to the feeling of kind of being a little rowdy in the air, maybe a little bit. And not that it was bad, but just it was more than 3 mile an hour wind day, right? So if you go up and just when kind of feeling that bumpiness a little bit, kind of getting used to that, I do remember that kind of thinking, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm doing okay. But just kind of getting over some of that anxiety of just kind of feeling a little bit of turbulent air or a little bit of bumpy air is kind of what I remember.
So textured, as we call it. Um,
Yep.
yeah. How do you feel about bumps now?
Now, you get used to it and, it's just kind of, you live in Kansas, it's par for the course.
Oh yeah. Kansas is probably the most unpredictable and angriest weather at times that I've ever seen, not counting tornadoes or anything. But so do you have a best flight?
A flight I had not too long ago, still out at Norwich, that was, got some pretty good altitude. I think I got up around 7,000 AGL, and I was that was exciting. That was kind of some of the higher altitudes I had been, and there was some clouds that were a little lower in the sky that day, and just kind of getting up above the cloud line and having that flight was impressive. I really enjoyed that one.
Nice, nice. Now, could you imagine doing this without an instructor?
No, no, I couldn't. That again was one of the things that was important to me, making sure I was safe, I was properly trained, and finding a community of guys to go fly with and hang out with and talk paramotor stuff with was also important. I was when I first started looking into it, uh, I was concerned that I'd have to go to Texas to get trained or do something and then kind of come back up here, and then if I had questions or wasn't sure, just trying to kind of almost learn on your own a little bit, even if you did go somewhere else and get trained. So to find the community up here really is when I said, I'm in. I'm going to do this thing. Look, it's right here in my backyard. It was 15, 20 minutes drive from my house. Uh, so having the instructor, the group of guys and the community and just the knowledge of everyone all together was really what made me feel comfortable and really made it happen.
So, that's one of the things that I really, really pride ourselves about is the community. And we're all kind of a family, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, we cook together, work on each other's vehicles. I've had guys help me move the whole bit. It's and I think that community is also nationwide. If you go to another city or another state and post on Facebook or in one of the groups, hey, I want to fly, I can't imagine somebody not piping up and saying something.
Oh yeah, and we've had guys drive through on their way through town and come out and fly with us. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, so like flying and stuff like that. Have you made a chance out to like endless foot drag or anything like that?
I haven't made it out there yet. I'm hoping to this year.
Okay, I think it's going to be a blast. It always is, but shout out to Landon March and all the work that he does with endless foot drag. Um, how many? You've seen our field pretty full. How many guys do you think you've been in the air with at a time?
Oh, I've probably 8 to 10, something like that. I mean, at least that many.
Absolutely. You know, if you were going to talk to a new guy and give him some pointers or whatnot, what would you tell him? And not necessarily what school to go to, but somebody's coming to you and saying, hey, I've seen you fly, I've seen other guys fly, I really want to get into this, but I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I would say definitely reach out to Leo, give him your contact information. But outside of making sure you get properly trained, come be part of the family, and come just come check it out, see if it's something you're interested in. Get a little practice. You can do a little kiting, and really just kind of start getting involved, get engaged. It's a really laid back group, and just kind of come out and see if it makes sense for you.
Yeah, a lot of the people that I see in the school here, one of their first introductions to paramotors, Tucker got. They talk
Mm.
about the McDonald's video. And,
Uh,
YouTuber University is a thing. But, I mean, do you really think somebody could learn how to fly off of YouTube?
I mean, I don't not safely. I mean, I think you if you're crazy enough to clip in and give it a go, I mean, I guess you can, but I wouldn't advise it. I mean, do it right, do it smart, do it safe, and have fun doing it. And be around other guys you can ask questions and really learn, and then give back, right? So then come in and help other guys that come in and teach them, and you know, I think you get more out of it that way for sure.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Everybody in the community was really, really helpful to me when I started. And I know you got the same support. Learning how to fly can be really intimidating, and especially when things don't go well. And trying to, launch on your own and whatnot. I mean, it's possible you're probably not going to kill yourself, but you probably break a lot of equipment in the process. And, you know, like, what do you think your worst paramotor incident has been? Like a sit on launch, or how many props have you busted yet?
Well, knock on wood, I haven't broken any equipment yet. I did cut a riser uh, where my I was starting to do touch and goes, and my prop cut one of my lines. That's been the only thing I've broken so far. Uh, you know, when I first started out, I had a tendency of trying to kind of jump in my seat a little bit. So you kind of coached me out of that, and so that was helpful. But I haven't broken any props. like I say, knock on wood, but
I hope I'm not jinxing you here for
I
sure.
know.
Because I've broke quite a bit. I've broke, I don't know, 6 or 8 props in my career, and cut
Yeah.
lines and all kinds of stuff like that. But where do you think your flying's going from here? Are you going to stay? Because you're kind of one of them low and slow guys, and you go up 7,000 feet. But like, have you thought about doing any XC flights? Have you thought about upgrading wings anytime soon? Are you going to stay with the same motor?
Yeah, so I just flew Marco's wing a few weeks back. Uh, he'd been wanting me to fly it for a while. I think it's a 25 meter, I think is what it is, but a little smaller. I actually left my wing at home. I was in such a hurry trying to pack up and get out there because I got off work late, but loaded up and left my wing at home and got out to the field and started to put my motor together and realized I had no wing. And so Margot said, "Well, fly mine. Here, take it, fly it. And I've been wanting you to fly it." And I was really surprised at the smaller, just that little bit smaller, how snappy it was and how it reacted differently. And so I think I'm about ready to maybe get a little smaller wing. I could try it and fly some others.
Do you think you're going to stay with the Charger and go small on it, or do you think you're ready for something like a Luna or an F3?
I'm not sure yet. I'd like to maybe try to fly a couple of them and kind of make a decision.
And you're pretty stuck on the Moster 185, I think.
Yeah, I like it. I think it works well for me.
Good, good. Um, I'll tell you, I'm really grateful for guys like you in the community. You're helpful to others. You take the time to pay attention, and you're always vigilant. You're rock solid on your takeoffs. By the way, I have to tell everybody, this guy right here is the forward master. I have seen him forward in as much as 7 or 8 mile an hour and get in the air and absolutely flawless. You see somebody set up for a forward in that kind of wind, and you're like, oh my gosh. So, I mean, tell me why, and I know you can do reverses because I've seen it, but why is forwards your preferred launch?
I don't know. It's just the one I probably got the most experience with, to be honest with you. It's not that I dislike a reverse or that I can't do them. It's just I typically do a forward. It has to be really, really gusty for me to go, oh, I can't control the forward launch. And I haven't been knocked back or turtled or whatever you might want to call it. That hasn't happened to me yet. But, just what I usually prefer and have the most experience with.
Nice.
I mean,
Now,
an easy forward, just take a step or two forward. Don't really, and it'll come up, and you sometimes have to give it back a little bit, and but it's just usually what I prefer.
well, and forwards are kind of butter too. I mean, they're except for nil wind, and I'm 6'7", 240, so nil wind forwards are not really my friend. But
Yeah,
trying to get this freight train rolling. But you're let's see, you're about 5'7",
yeah.
5'7". What do you weigh?
It's G4 classified.
So he's what I'm gonna say he's probably about 170, and you do pretty good with that stuff. Now you are getting ready to get some ratings. Now I know you have your PPG one through the USPPA, and we're about to. Now you've been flying quite a while, and I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, but ratings weren't at the forefront of your mind. It was more the flying, right?
Yeah, I mean the ratings I wanted to get the first one done. so that I could be, part of that membership and get that. But, you know, after that, I was wanting to get some flights in. Uh, Not that I didn't want to continue to learn, and I think that's important. But as a new pilot, I wanted to fly, and so I've been kind of focused just on getting flights and and learning from the experience. But yeah, I understand for the fly-ins they want everyone to kind of have the level two, and that's fine. It's just they want you to kind of show that you do have some of that experience. So I thought, well, I could go out and take the test and do the spot landings and whatnot, and go ahead and get the level two. But so yeah, I'll tackle that probably the start of this season.
So, do you think you're going to go past the two? Do you think you're going to get PPG 3?
I mean, probably eventually.
Do you
I
have an
mean,
interest?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Now, past fly-ins, what do ratings really mean to you?
Well, I mean, I think it's just the progression of continuing to advance and show that not only do you want to do it, but you've taken the time to learn how to do it properly, and that you can prove you can do it, and that you've taken not just the test, but that you have the knowledge to do those types of techniques.
Absolutely. Ratings I think they're important for confidence too. You've gone through the testing, you've done the spot landings, and it gives you that idea, not even idea, but confidence that you have this knowledge and you know it. Um, do you think, I mean, let's talk about the USPPA. So, USPPA, getting the ratings and whatnot, and most of your training has been USPPA. What would you say about those guys?
I think they're a great organization. Uh, Bringing awareness to the sport. Uh, Allowing everyone to kind of feel that sense of community throughout the United States here is important. It's a site you can belong to. It's a membership. You can work on the ratings. They send out some. You get the magazine and stuff that I like to go through, and it's got some
Love the
great photos. And
magazine.
I think they do a really good job there. And as an instructor, a community there, it kind of brings all that together, which I think is important.
Yeah, absolutely. So, overall, I call it the big toe, big theory of everything. What would be your big toe when it comes to paramotor?
Well, I mean, the big theory, I mean, it's hard to say. What would you say yours is?
Well, one, it's given me, an outlet that I've never had before. Flying, is a personal thing. Do get to share it with others, but it's just for you. Like when you're at 7,000 feet, man, there's nobody up there but you. Your world is in a way cut off from everybody else. The phone's not ringing, the dogs aren't barking, the kids ain't yelling, and it's this personal time that you get that you can get nowhere else, with the most spectacular view ever. And the sport itself, when this stuff started out, it was pretty sketchy. Mouth throttles and guys flying by the seat of their pants, and it has evolved into this organization, this family, this spectacular outlet and hobby that few people get to enjoy, or have the thoughts of enjoying. Paramotor is probably the most accessible and, I wouldn't say private, but a sport that's only mine. You know, I I can't express how lucky I got. Not only getting to fly, but then becoming an instructor and putting other people in the air. So big theory of everything. Paramotor is it. It's a personal advancement. You get this chance to learn more about self physically and mentally than probably any other game. I think maybe martial arts or something competitive like that, but we're really not competitive. We get a chance to share it, to be selfish with it. My big theory of paramotor is this is the most amazing thing that I've ever done. And, for new people out there looking to fly, it's something you really like, with you, it's hard to express. Paramotor is a way to center yourself away from others, yet still sharing it and have the most fun that you've ever had in your life. So there's my theory.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right on there. I mean, when you're up there, there is really a feeling of freedom. I sometimes think almost a moment of awe, just because. I mean, yeah, you've been in an airplane, and been able to look out a window, but but to be up there and just fly, it's really a feeling of, I mean, I've had just to be in awe of the sights, the views, and everything that you've seen, and just say, wow, I just can't believe that you're just flying up here and just the wind's in your face, and it is really a feeling of freedom. And like you say, it's really hard to express and explain, but just the sensations that you feel flying up there and the freedom and is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
I would have to agree with you. Paramotor is, again, it's hard to explain or really get into it. The enthusiasm that people have for it. Like when new guys land, first flight, I'm all over them like white on rice. I get there, I can feel the adrenaline, I can taste the excitement, I can smell the achievement, and it's a full sensory thing for me to see the smile on somebody's face when they first hit the ground after their first flight, land on their feet. They've been kiting for days or weeks and gone through ground school and hear about all the things that could happen and what didn't happen to them. And like I said, I'm probably the luckiest guy in the world. And paramotor keeps us, I know this is going to kind of sound weird, but it kind of keeps us grounded mentally. Understanding that there's the risks, and the preparedness for it too. So here's a crazy question, and do you think yourself, if you had something catastrophic in the air, do you think you're prepared for it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we've studied it, we've practiced it. I fly with a reserve in case I ever did need it. There's obviously inherent risk if you're gonna fly up into the air, or whether you're gonna parachute or skydive or anything like that. But you know, uh, it's I feel prepared that we. If you have any questions, what might happen, learn from others. There's many Facebook groups where people will share their stories of, okay, don't do what I did, or do this, or here I made this mistake, or I've done X, Y, and Z. So, it's all part of the educational process of surround yourself with experienced people who've been doing it, stay informed, stay smart, be aware, and understand, and practice, and go out and have fun and enjoy the sport.
Yeah. Now you've never thrown a reserve.
Nope, I've never had to throw a reserve.
Okay. Neither have I, and I think it has to do with a lot of the way you fly. Observing the rules. You know, like I always say, there's your two most dangerous flights. It'll be your first one because you're relying on instructor, and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. And then your second flight is your 100th because now you think you know what you're doing, and you end up in a pickle because you stop following the fundamentals. So, do you fly about the same that you always had, or are you starting to get a little wicky on that wing?
Oh, you know, uh, I still think I fly with a fair amount of caution. I understand that, a lot of times when pilots find themselves in trouble, it's because they've maybe pushed outside their comfort zone, or trying things maybe they shouldn't be trying at the levels that they're at, or the weather conditions that they're at. And I I'd like to I fly a little lower, get a little get do a few more things. But yeah, I'm not doing wing overs or anything like that yet.
Yeah,
But
he says.
yeah,
Yeah, now
but
now that means next time we go to the field, we're going to get you on a wing over.
yeah.
Would you do it?
Nah, probably not yet. I'm gonna need to. I'm gonna have to do a little more study, and I need to understand a little more energy, and technique before I'm gonna feel comfortable doing that. And that's just kind of my personal preference.
Yeah, we'll put you on a Colorado, and get you up there, get you on comms, and be like, just yank that brake handle.
Uh, it's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, real quick, we are going to leave David for a moment, and we are going to head over and talk to our sponsors now. Um, we got a lot to owe to uh, Kanguk America. So, if you're looking to get into a machine, or you want to um, upgrade any anything that you've got, get a new one. CanGookAmerica.com. So these guys have been in business since 2004, and they are absolutely fantastic. They have all things paramotor in stock, and the ultimate affordable aviation, from motors, trikes, parts, quads, just about any top platform of engine, you can get it there with Kangaroo America, from Corsair Engines, Viterazzi, Polini, and they have got such different types of machines to suit the right person. If you're into tandems, if you're just into solo launch. But on top of that, is they really, really take the time with these machines to build them well, and to make sure that the engineering that you're getting is top notch. So if you are looking for a paramotor, or you are looking to get into paramotor, you can reach out to us. And if Kangook is your swag, then reach out to us, or go to kangookamerica.com. And then on top of that, one of our big sponsors is Light Flight. Now, Light Flight is the Viterazzi dealer here in the Midwest, and the new MY25 is out, and you can get it, from Atom 80, EFI, Moster 185, Factory R, and Cosmos 300. They've got exactly what you need. Also on Light Flight, uh, they supply, the rebuild kits, any parts, maintenance issues, anything like that, they can help you with that. And they sell props, helmets, throttles, harnesses, uh, paramotor bags, swag, strobes. I mean, they've got it all. So, if you have any need for Vitarazi motors or need some really cool swag or stuff to go with your snazzy paramotor, lightflight.us, and they'll help you out. So, and by the way, send them, tell them that Wichita Paramotor sent you, and there might be a thing. Now, the other place I want to send everybody real quick is to, so if you're a new guy and you're looking to get into powered paragliding, usppa.org. So these guys have standardized the education when it comes to paramotor, and they have a huge community and tons of support. So if you're looking for an instructor in your area, go to the top of the page here, click training, and go down to find a school. You'll come to a listing of schools, and let's see if it's going to do it for me there. There we go. On top of that, you can search by state or you can search by name. The other nice thing is they have the magazine that they put out for the USPPA, and it's all things paramotor. So, and you actually get a subscription to the magazine with your membership. So, if you want to, what was that? So, if you want to learn more about paramotor and learn how to fly, join the USPPA. Again, that's usppa.org, and they will absolutely help you out with anything that you need. So, the other one that, of course, shameless promotion, Wichita Paramotor. I'm actually typing this in right now. .com. And we have all kinds of things paramotor, from finding out how to learn how to fly. Not only that, what is paramotoring, learn to fly with confidence, professional training, beginner, advanced, and intensive programs. You can meet your instructor, get paramotor equipment and gear, not to mention swag and accessories. Join our community. So, again, if you want to learn how to fly and you're in the Midwest, go to wichitaparamotor.com. So, and here in a second, I am actually going to kind of embarrass David here. I don't know if he's ready for it, but we actually have one of your launches. What do you think about that?
One of my what?
One of your launches.
Oh, great.
It's back when you were still on comms and still learning, because it was kind of a transition from Air Capital PPG into Wichita Paramotor. So you took a couple of flights with Air Capital PPG with Brant, and then you kind of got to hand it off to me. What'd you think about that?
Oh, I mean, it was a great transition. I had done all my training with you anyhow, with all the kiting and ground. So, it was a smooth transition. You guys did a great job going from over to the Wichita Paramotor Group. And yeah, I thought I had no issues, concerns whatsoever.
Good, good. So you didn't actually stay on comms very long. You were one of those guys that, I have to say, you're super, super independent.
Yeah. That's okay. I just it's the sport in my mind is kind of a technique sport. You just kind of have to know how the wing feels in your hand. It's kind of a touchy feely sport. Hey, when are you going to apply pressure when you come in for a land, and things of that nature. And so, just trying to kind of get a feel for the sport was what I was trying to get done. I think it just took a little time, but
Well, and we've all had a few butt landings, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, and I'll give away the secret here. I didn't land on my feet for about 40 flights, so it was one of those things where it is learning process, and it's all about you. An instructor can guide you. They can help you with the settings of your machine, make sure you can get out of the seat, you're hung properly, and everything. But it's really one of those sports where it's all about you, your skills, and your techniques. Wouldn't you agree?
yeah.
So, let me see. I am going to let everybody see my pretty face for a second. And I am going to pull up one of David's launches here. Give me just 1 second. Y'all are going to love this. He's he's one of them people that, like I said, super independent, and not to mention he's good at this sport, and I think a lot of people could learn from his techniques, his perseverance. Like we talked about here, he went through injury, um, went through all kinds of losing his brother, trying to get into this sport and that kind of thing. But he hung in there. He did everything he absolutely could to stay into the sport, and it's one of those deals where, like I said, it's all you. So let me bring this up real quick. Now, David, I know you can still hear me, but we are going to go to your launch and check this out. So this is out on our previous field that we used to train at a lot. We called it Teener Field. And here we are.
Remember, we're going to keep running. Looking good, looking good. Release. Good, run. Power.
And that was a fantastic launch.
Remember, we're going to keep running.
I couldn't see it, so I hope it was a good one.
It was. And actually, if you want to see the one that I posted here for you, go to my homepage, and it's 2 or 3 posts back. You know, I've actually got another great video of you. It's you off in the distance, and it's it's one of those famous Kansas sunsets, and you're flying along, and you fly behind these trees, and it's always been probably one of my most inspiring videos that I've seen, and it was you. So, all right, man. We're pushing on an hour here, hanging out with David Brant, and I would say, overall, you're probably one of the most consistent pilots that I've seen. You rarely botch a launch. you're super predictable when it comes to not only how you're going to launch, but the quality of those launches. So again, remember this is for the new guy. So if that new guy walks up to you, and again, you don't have to mention any schools or anything, just personal thought. In closing here, what would you say inspires you the most, and how would you inspire them?
I would just say, yeah, go and do it. Don't get caught up with all the challenges or concerns that you might have. Just know that it takes a little practice. Surround yourself with good folks, and it's life changing. You'll love it. It's amazing, and just commit to it and go do it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Not only that, I have to kind of bust you out here. It took me a second to talk you into a Zoom interview with for being on the show. So, tell me, what are you regretting it?
Oh no, you did a good job. I appreciate it. It was great being here.
Absolutely. Well, David, I got to say, I thank you very much for joining us on Wichita Paramotor Coast to Coast. You can catch the interviews Wednesdays at 6 and our regular show with my beautiful co-host JL. You can catch that on Sundays at 6. Remember, we're also on YouTube, so this interview will actually be put on YouTube in the next couple of days. So if you want to review it or whatnot, please check us out, youtube.com/Wichita Paramotor. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, and you can find us on WhatsApp. So if you have any questions, anything like that, reach out to us. If you're looking for training, even if you're not in my area, I can help you find an instructor, but usppa.org is probably the best bet, and tons of resources there to help you get into the air. Not only that, we can't forget our beautiful sponsors, Cangook America and lightflight.us. So, I'm pretty lucky that I get to hang out with people like David and, get to have these conversations. And, the community around us is absolutely spectacular. It's been, an absolute joy to, fly with these kind of people. And not only that, get to do the stuff like the podcast and do the training and that kind of thing. So David, I really want to thank you for coming out. Hopefully you'll be able to do the show in the future, and we'll keep up with you with your flying and everything. So thank you very much for joining us.
All right, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, buddy. You have a great one. And again, for you paramotor people out there, WichitaParamotor.com and lightflight.us, Cangook America, usppa.org. And I'll tell you, this has been a good show. I really appreciate everybody joining us. Again, like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time on Wichita Paramotor Coast to Coast.